You hit record. Welcome to the webinar on applying to Rain Ready Ottawa Rebates. My name is Steph, and I work for EnviroCentre alongside Stefan. And today we're going to be giving you trying to answer as many Q&As, common Q&As as we can about the Rain Ready Ottawa rebate application process. You are welcome to, it seems like this is a Zoom savvy crew. So throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, you can put them either in the chat, which is down at the bottom next to the raise hand function, or the Q&A box, which is to the right. I will be sharing some links in the chat as we go through the presentation for things that are relevant. And then if you have any questions at the end, we're able to answer questions in either language. And then I'll put our email addresses into the chat as well, so you can follow up with any questions from there. And I think that's all of our housekeeping. So with that, I will let Stefan take the floor.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Like Steph said, we'll just be talking about the application process. Today we have some other workshops coming along, which I'll highlight as we go along just to help you through some of the other processes. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get started. Um, Here we go. So applying for Rain Ready Ottawa Rebates, why we're all here today. Um, so Oh, do not want to skip that. The land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that the land where we live, gather, and work is the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. Since time immemorial, the Algonquin peoples have lived here. We are proud and grateful to call it our home, and we endeavor to work respectfully with the land and its people. This being very topical with this specifically because we are helping people work with the stormwater on their property, but also it cascades through your neighborhoods, through your local creeks and rivers and lakes, and has so many other effects as well. Um, Perfect. So just a quick rundown. I'll give a quick kind of catch you up if just in case. What is Rain Ready Ottawa? It's a City of Ottawa program that encourages and supports residents to take action on their property to reduce harmful impacts of rainwater runoff. In this particular webinar, you'll learn how to access and complete the required forms to access those rebates, understand the eligibility and documentation requirements, find and work with a certified fusion landscape professional if that's the avenue you decide to take, and prepare your project for review and approval. So we'll all be working towards that kind of final application process at the end. What does the Rain Ready Ottawa program offer? So, for anyone in Ottawa, it offers information on stormwater projects, including a series of self-guided e-learning courses that can help you implement rainwater management projects on your property. And for people who do reside in the primary stormwater retrofit area, there are rebates up to $5,000 to help you install practices that help manage rainwater where it falls. So we'll go further into those rebates in just a second. So rebates, again, if your address does fall within that priority stormwater area, you're eligible for rebates up to $5,000 to help you reduce runoff. So as you can see, that can cover downspout redirections for up to $750. Rain garden installations up to $2,500, soakaway pit installation up to $2,500, and permeable pavements up to $5,000, and certified landscape designs up to $500. So you can choose a few of these different options, but you would never be able to exceed the total $5,000. Yeah, so those are the rebates that are available through this program. Just a quick before you begin, none of the rebates are retroactive. So if you completed something last year or in the past, you can't, unfortunately, can't qualify for those rebates. You must submit the online application and have your project approved before starting construction. That being said, if you're in the planning stages and you maybe done minimal kind of groundwork, it's possible you could still qualify. So I would just reach out to the city. We'll provide you with some emails to reach out. Um, it- and if you're not sure, if you think maybe you've gone too far, just reach out anyways. You never know. It could still qualify. So we're just encouraging people to check with us first. Just decided I would go through a few key terms just because you'll see these popping up throughout the workshop, and just through talking to people about these type of things, I've realized these aren't really common terms, even though we use them all the time on our side. So stormwater, it's just precipitation, so rain, melting snow that runs off surfaces like roofs, roads, driveways, instead of soaking into the ground. So that's any water that's falling onto your property that's not on a permeable space that is kind of running off your property. Directly connected impervious areas, a bit of a mouthful, but it's basically the portion of impervious surfaces. So like I was talking about your roof or your driveway, anything that's not soaking water into it, in an urban area that directly drain into storm sewer systems or a natural water body of water, so like a lake or a creek or anything, without absorbing into the ground. So all that water you see, maybe going down your downspout onto your driveway out into the street. A lot of people don't know those little grates with the fish. It's to kind of let you know that that water is going into the river untreated. So it can make a huge difference just by absorbing some of that into a permeable space. So these are the steps, when you're kind of thinking about starting a project and you want to apply for those rebates. First, you want to check your eligibility. And we'll go through these one at a time. I just want to let you know what to expect. So you want to check your eligibility, see if you're in an area of the city where you can qualify for rebates. Um, Decide on what solutions you'd like to implement. If you're interested in maybe putting in a rain garden, but you need to redirect your downspout first, those are the two you'd be interested in. Maybe you want to install some permeable option for your driveway. And if you're not sure, a great place to start is actually our next step here. So you would need to either complete some e-learning courses to qualify for the rebates, or you can go just through a Fusion Landscape professional and get a quote from them. So the e-learning courses, regardless, is a great place to start because it can give you a lot of information on what options are available to you, what they would look like, and you can kind of make your decisions from there. So once you've checked your eligibility, you've kind of have an idea of what you'd like to implement on your property, and you either have done those courses or got a quote. You'll assemble a few documents and submit the online application. And that's pretty much the whole process. Obviously, there's a few steps to some of those, but we'll go through those. We'll go through those today. All right. So actually, right now, I figured originally I was going to have a bunch of different slides to walk you through these, but I find it's just a lot easier to show you exactly in real time how these type of things go. So if you can remember, actually, I'll let you know, this is the City of Ottawa Rain Ready website. So this is ottawa.ca/rain, and this will have a whole bunch of different basically everything you'll need for the program and to be able to access any kind of the e-learning courses or Fusion Landscape Professionals. So here you can learn a little bit more about the program. You can check more about rebate information. But the main things we're here for are, first of all, check our eligibility. So we're going to click here on eligibility. You see a little map pop up here. And here you won't. First, you'll see it will be, oh, all right. Here, I'm just going to start this over. It's decided where it wants to look already. So There you go. So eligibility, we'll pop that open. You see this map pop up. It'll be quite zoomed out, is the first thing you'll notice. Um, so here we're just going to put in our address here. Baseline Road, not my real address, but um, yeah, a good option here. And first thing you'll want to do is try to start zooming in with maybe your mouse or something. But that will actually move the little plus sign here. So best option I found is just use these plus and minuses here. So we're going to plus down there, right down to where we can see where it's the home is. So here you also see dark orange is priority retrofit area. So if you're in that dark orange area, that means you can qualify for rebates through the program. If you're in the lighter orange area, again, you can still qualify, access all that information, e-learning courses. You wouldn't, unfortunately, be able to access the rebates in its current iteration. These boundaries have changed through the years, so I would consider keeping an eye on it if you aren't. Um, but yeah, that's basically how you would check your eligibility for the address that you're qualifying for. Here we go. So if you can remember, the first step was check eligibility. We've checked that. We're in the priority area. Next is, again, we can either do some e-learning courses, learn a little bit more about the options available to us, or we can go through a Fusion Landscape Professional. So we'll try the e-learning courses here. So let's say e-learning courses are great for if you're doing the work yourself and you just want to learn how to do them correctly and apply for the rebates. They're great options. Or if you'd like to go through a contractor that is not a Fusion Landscape Professional for whatever reason, maybe you have contractors who you've worked with before, and you're really comfortable with them, that's okay. But you would have to complete these e-learning courses just to make sure the project elements are done correctly, basically. So let's say we want to do the e-learning courses here. We'll just click that e-learning courses option here, and right at the bottom, e-learning platform. Click on that, and I'm already signed in, so I'm going to sign out here. This is the page you'll land on. So you can learn a little bit more about them here. It's most of this information is also on the main Ottawa Rain Ready Ottawa webpage as well. But we'll be signing up here, so I assume you're not signed up already. And here I'd put in name, email address, make a cheeky username, password, remember your password. I've been there, and your address, and create account here. And what that will do is just send an email to your email you've provided here. And all you have to do is go to your email, click, I believe it's confirm email, and that will just confirm that you're giving an email that is your email. And it will spit you back right up at this page again. And all you have to do is log in using that information. That's my work email. If you have any questions, you can email me there, no problem. And we will sign in here. Perfect. We're signed in. You will not have these courses all ready to go. You'll just see like a blank page here. But from here, you just want to click on Course Catalog, and this will show you all the available courses through the Rain Ready Ottawa e-learning site. So we have Introduction and Overview, Downspout Redirection Course, Rain Gardens, Soakaway Pits and Trenches. So it's pretty straightforward. If you want to put in a rain garden, you would click Get this course right here. If you want to put in a soakaway pit, you would choose that one. If you want to redirect some downspouts, you would click that one. Introduction and overview does have to be done regardless. So it gives you a good overview of stormwater management in general, the program. So that one you have to complete. So for example, let's say I wanted to redirect my downspout from my driveway. So it's in my, outflows into my lawn, and I want to add a rain garden there. I would click Introduction, Downspout Redirection Course, Rain Garden. And once you have selected all the courses that you'd like to take, you can click on this top little button here, and that will just always bring you back to your home base here. So I've also selected the intro in French, we won't be doing that. But let's say I'd like to get started. Introduction, again, a great place to start. It'll give you a base for the other options as well. So I would always suggest starting there. And resume course here. You'll see it'll just pop up a little video here, and it'll play. I believe it's maybe 10-ish minutes, 10 to 15. And it just has a bunch of information on stormwater management and the program. And at the end of that, you'll have a short little quiz. It's 10 questions. You can take it as many times as you want. We're not going to be judging you or looking at your scores or anything. Um, and once that's completed and you've got them all right, you'll have a little green check mark here under under the course, and then you'll have to just do a quick survey just to help us improve the program for future iterations. And then that's it. It will download your certificate if you're savvy and know everything, know where your downloads are. It should be right here. And actually, I've done one of these, and it'll look just like this. Just test, not my real name. And yeah, that's all you need to, obviously you would have to do the one for the rain garden and the, in my case, the redirection. But it's just for whatever ones you need and the intro course. Oh, there we go. We're back. And once that you've completed that one, if you have other ones to complete, you can click this again, this home base button, and that'll bring you right back to your home base here. If you're ever, for some reason it's not showing in your downloads or you want to find those certificates again, you can always click on this little progress button here. And up here, you can see your courses, your certificates. So they'll all show up here. You can download them directly from here. Yeah, they'll all be accessible there for as long as you need. And that's it. So that's all you would need to do for the e-learning courses if you're deciding to go that way. If you're deciding, I just like to go with a Fusion Landscape Professional. They're Fusion Landscape Professionals because they basically are certified and know how to create these either, rain gardens or soakaway pits, permeable pavement. They know how to do all of these to a certain expected efficiency. So that's why you wouldn't have to do any of these courses. So let's say you don't want to really do any of the courses. You just like to go straight to someone who knows what they're doing. You'll open this Fusion Landscape dropdown. You can get a little bit of information here, but what you're looking for is just at the bottom here. FusionLandscapeProfessionals.ca. If you can't find it for whatever reason, it's pretty straight to the point website, which I love. And here you can get a lot of information on what Fusion landscaping is and a lot of different things. But for our purpose, we're looking for this find a professional right at the top here. We just want to find someone to do the work. So another map here. If you know the name of the landscaper or whoever, these are in alphabetical order. You can scroll through these. But I found the best way is just to use the map here. You can drag, there's some in Toronto. I'm guessing we're picking some that are in Ottawa. And from here, you can full screen if you'd like. There's a little tool here as well where you can zoom in as much as you'd like. You can drag, you can zoom in using your mouse. I will full screen. You can use your mouse wheel to scroll in if you'd like. And this shows all the Fusion Landscape Professionals that are located in Ottawa. I just recently realized the red ones just mean they've been added recently, but they're all, you can click on any of them, get their information, what the company's called, their phone number, website if you want to learn a little bit more. And here you can get a little bit more an idea of what they're probably working in. So rewild conservation, probably more on the rain garden side. Not necessarily, but it's possible to get a little bit more context that way. And I wouldn't worry about, if you're in Orleans oh, I can only pick ones in Orleans. Most of these companies will work citywide. There may be an exception here or there, but for the most part, you can just find some that work for you. And to get the quote, honestly, you just once you decide, oh, these are maybe some I'd like to go with, you can just give them a call, or I'm sure they have an email on their website if you're more comfortable with that, and speak to them about getting a quote. You can mention, you're interested because you're going through the Rain Ready Ottawa program, and they're listed as one of the approved fusion landscape professionals, um, and just speak to them about getting a quote. So yeah, those are the two options. Again, you can either do the e-learning courses or get a Fusion Landscape professional quote. And we're back. We're back to the presentation portion here. All right, perfect. So these are the required documents. Um, there's again, you'd need e-learning certificates or a quote from Fusion Landscape Professional. We just went through that and got an idea of how you'd like to go about that. Next are the other required documents. So you'll need before photos of the project area, a project description, directly connected impervious areas managed. We know what that means now. A copy of your property tax bill, relevant permits and approvals, locate documentation, and if you are not the owner, it's still possible to qualify, but you would need a letter of permission from property owners. Um, Perfect. So we'll just go through those one at a time. Before photos, they just have to basically you're capturing the state of the site before work is completed. That's one of the main reasons why you need to apply before any work is done. It really needs to be seen, before and after what's being done on the property. Um, you can include a standard sized object or like a tape measure just to convey size. Basically, it's not too stringent though. These are just it gives a good idea. It's to show that it's not like a tiny little, fake home. As long as you can kind of get an idea. A tape measure is great for if you're looking at downspouts and how far away they are from, uh, your home, these type of things. But for something larger, again, just a standard size object just to give an idea. You can take lots of pictures from a bunch of different angles. It's always better to take more than not enough. If you get one bad picture and it's the only picture you've taken, then you're probably gonna have to go back. But if you've taken 8 pictures and 3 of them are bad, it's possible, those 5 others are plenty. Ensure you have a picture that captures the entire project site. So ideally, you have, for example, the bottom picture here. If you were putting in a rain garden in the front lawn area here, this would be, you can kind of get an idea of how large the space is. And cell phone pictures are acceptable. It's not you don't have to take any fancy lighting pictures or anything like that. It's just getting the point across, getting an idea of what the space looks like. All right, so the next thing would be a project description. This is another one not to overthink too much. It's just a short description of what you're doing. So they'd want to know what the project elements are. So project elements, fancy way of saying, I'm putting in a rain garden or a soakaway pit, what you're doing on the property. Where those project elements will be located. This it can be as simple as, north side of front lawn or east backyard or something like that. The distances are important just because anything that's holding water like a soakaway pit or rain garden does have to be a certain distance away from your foundation. So those are kind of important, and obviously we don't want you digging up your neighbor's lawn or anything like that. So just giving a rough idea of how far away some of those important spaces are. Which directly connected impervious areas will be managed. I'll go through that a little bit more. Um, in our next slide, and whether you are completing the project or you're hiring a contractor. So again, like if you did the e-learning courses and you're just, I can do this all, that's perfect. The one thing you definitely can't do yourself is the permeable pavement. That has to be done through a certified professional. It's much too complicated for you to learn enough in a quick e-learning course to be installing all of that. So this is just a quick example. This it doesn't have to be exactly written like this. This is an example of something you may decide to write in as your project description. So the project involves redirecting the downspout that handles runoff from the western half of my roof, area one, and towards the backyard garden 3 meters away from my foundation and 2 meters away from the property line. The rain garden will have amended soil, 50% compost, 50% sand, and will be planted with native perennials and topped with shredded mulch. I'll also put in a soakaway pit 4 meters from foundation to manage rainwater from the eastern half of my roof, area two, and will redirect the downspout so that water drains to the soakaway pit via a buried pipe. I will be installing the rain garden myself, but we'll be hiring a contractor to install the soakaway pit. So again, this doesn't have to be exactly how it's written. You can, just say area one as a title, and then go through, I'm going to be installing a rain garden in the front lawn. It can be a little a- as any way you'd like, as long as we're getting that important information across, which is, what you're doing, where it's going, um, what, roof is flowing into that element, if you're doing the work yourself, these type of things. So any way you can get that across works perfectly fine. The next part is what area DCIAs, or directly connected impervious areas, are managed. So a sketch of the proposed design is how you would likely get that across. So you do need a sketch. So this can be anything from, you get some grid paper and you draw out, your home and roughly where the property line is and what roof is flowing into what downspout, or it can be something like this. Again, not fine. It's not going to be hung at an art gallery or anything, but it shows basically what's going to be happening through the project. So the purpose is just to show the project elements and what's draining into them. Doesn't need to be art. If you are concerned about this portion, or you're not sure how to go about that, we do have another workshop 2 weeks from today, and I will be going through the self-assessment process. So that goes from everything from walking around, getting an idea of, how is this roof flowing this into this downspout or that one, and how do I find out the area of the roof, so I can decide how big the rain garden needs to be. All those type of things will go in much more detail. Um, but the gist of this one is the brown line is the property line. You see, area one is your west roof. So I would say, area one, west roof flowing into downspout that is outflowing into a rain garden in my front lawn, north front lawn, something like that. Again, doesn't have to be exactly like that. Um, area two, north and east roof flowing to a downspout in the north corner of the home, outflowing into a soakaway pit. We will be redirecting the downspout to flow to the soakaway pit via buried pipe. Um, However you'd like to get that point across, it's pretty much it. Four would just be, replacing pavement with permeable option. You'd have the information from the landscaper and everything like that. So this is a good option used just from Google. You can find your home on Google and take a screenshot of it and kind of draw those out. Or again, if you're more of a uh, paper and pencil kind of person, you can do that as well. Perfect. So the required project information is basically the information that is going to inform the rebates. So that may be a weird way of saying that, but for example, a downspout redirection, the rebates based on estimated expenses. So it would just be the expenses of the downspout extension if you're putting in some sort of like splash pad or something. It would just be the expenses of those items. For rain gardens, it's the estimated size of the rain garden. Um, so again, we'll go much more into detail in the workshop in 2 weeks on that. But the idea is whatever roof is flowing into that downspout that will be going into a rain garden, your rain garden would be 10 to 20% of the size of that roof, depending on uh, your soil type. So if it's like really has a lot of clay in there, then you'll probably need a larger rain garden size just to be able to take on that much water because it takes a lot longer to absorb into the ground compared to like a very sandy soil. Soakaway pits, you just need to know the size of the roof that's flowing into the soakaway pit. So there's no calculation or anything there. And then for permeable pavement, estimated size of paved area and a quote from a Fusion landscape professional or a concrete masonry and hardscape association certified professional. That is, I got to practice that one. It's a lot of words. Um, that's another option that's been added very recently, and you can reach out to us if you're unsure of where to find some options for the Concrete Masonry Hardscape Association certified professionals. We can kind of put you in contact with some of those certified professionals. Relevant permits and approvals. So these are they may not come into play for your project, but they're basically city bylaws, provincial, federal acts, and regulations must be followed. So we're just asking you to follow laws, basically. Some to keep in mind. Again, some of these or all of these may not come into play at all for you. But some that are more likely to maybe come into play are there's site alteration bylaw, tree protection bylaw, low rise infill regulations, and private approach permit. You can find these on the Rain Ready Ottawa City website. Or honestly, you can call 311. They're great with all of these. They know so much about all of the different bylaws in the city, and you can just ask them as many questions as you'd like and get a lot of information on any permits or bylaws that may or may not uh, come into play for your project. So you do for projects that require digging, you must complete a locate before you dig. I did not know what a locate was before, many years ago when we started working on gardening and things like that. But locate is the process of identifying and marking the presence and location of underground utilities. So water pipes, gas lines, telecommunication cables, electrical cables, before digging or construction begins. Involves ground markings and associated documentation. So if you've ever seen those little tiny flags and little spray paint in grass, those are locate marks. So um, basically you would go to Ontario One Call. You can go to their website, or I mean, it's in the name. You can give them a call, and basically you would start a profile there, and you just request a locate for whatever area you're planning on digging. They have again another little map tool, seem to be pretty popular, and you show where you're going to be digging. It'll ask you, if you own the property or who owns the property. It will ask you how deep you're digging, if you're hand digging, those type of things. And then once that's all complete, they will send out people to check from, hydro, from like any gas lines that may be roughly in the area that they will come and check. They will check the light posts, any kind of underground wiring that may be applicable there, and they'll give you documentation saying, this is clear, there is or isn't anything in the area. And again, depends on how deep you're planning on digging. For any of these, you most likely wouldn't be digging too deep, but they'll give you lots of information and give you the go ahead, and that's basically what you'd need. They would email you those the go ahead, the information on the locates that they've done. So just to reiterate, we've talked about a lot of things. We've got our e-learning certificate or a quote from a Fusion Landscape Professional or Concrete Masonry and Hardscape Association Certified Professional. We've got our before photos of the area. We've got our project description, just a quick rundown of what we're doing. Our sketch, so our directly connected impervious areas managed. A copy of our property tax bill. Relevant permits and approvals. Again, you can call 311 for a little bit more information on them if you're unsure. We got our locate documentation. We got the go ahead to start digging, and a letter of permission from the property owner. Again, that's really just if you're renting, you're not the owner of the property. So I will pull open another page here. So we're back here at our home base here, ottawa.ca/rain, and we got all our we've confirmed that we're in the area. We have all our documentation. We've done our e-learning courses. We're ready to apply. We have everything, all our ducks in a row. You can click here on the Rain Ready Ottawa Rebates and apply, and that will there we go. Right here, Rain Ready Ottawa Rebates application form. We'll click on that and basically just go through one question at a time. It's pretty good at letting depending on which choice you make, it kind of walks you through that. So have you completed a Rain Ready Ottawa e-learning course? If we have, then it'll ask you to upload your certificates. You can see max 4. Yeah, you can just drag and drop these, or you can click this and it'll open up a file manager. You can, if they're on your desktop, you can open your desktop and pull them in that way. Um, there you go. Have you had a Rain Ready Ottawa home assessment? If you haven't yet, then that would be no. We aren't currently doing them this year. We're kind of going through the self-assessment process to hopefully help more people. But if you've already had one of these done, then you could click yes, and then this is where you would put in your assessment report you received. Have you obtained a quote from a Fusion Landscape Professional? This wording will be changed to include the masonry certified professionals as well. But let's say yes. It'll ask you just to provide the name and then the quote here. You can drag and drop here. You can open the file manager, whatever way you prefer. So let's say yes to that. Oh, it has been included here. Perfect. So if you decided to go with the Masonry Hardscape Association or Concrete Paving Institute, you can click here, yes, and it's the same. It'll ask for the contractor name and it'll ask for your quote here. So same idea. All right. This project area. So a lot of people will get confused with this one, not knowing, I'm not sure if I'm in the Pinecrest Creek Eastern Subwatershed. Do your best and take your best guess. If you're near the Pinecrest Creek, in Westboro area down to Hunt Club, that would be Pinecrest. If you're more in the Orleans area, you're most likely more Eastern Subwatershed. But if this is incorrect, we'll through the application process, we'll be able to correct that. It's not the biggest deal. Are you the property owner of the site? We'll say yes. If no, it will ask you for permission, basically from the homeowner. You'll put in applicant, all your name, email address. If you have a co-applicant, you can put that in here as well. Once you're done that, it'll ask you for your property tax roll and your property tax bill that we have ready. So you can drag and drop that there. Mailing address, if it's the same, you can just click this. It will copy your address you previously provided. And then project details. So this is where we wrote, a rundown of what our plan is. We're going to put in a rain garden in our front lawn and redirect this downspout here. If you've written it down in a Word document or something, you can copy and paste it here. You can just decide to write it in here if you'd like. It's up to you. Once that's done, we'll put in our our photos, again, drag and drop or pick them from your computer. Your site diagram, if it's drawn on paper, you can take a picture, hopefully make it visible, legible, and you can put that in there. Or if you've taken a screenshot and did it in Paint, whatever way worked for you, you can drag and drop that there as well. Um, Permeable paving, if we are doing permeable paving, it'll ask you for the size. Again, for also for these sizes, the workshop that we're doing on the 29th, I'll go through how to easily find a rough area size of those uh, paved areas or the roofs or anything like that. So here, let's say paved areas 50 meters, relevant directly connected impervious area. So this is in our plan. Remember, we were saying area one, area two. In that drawing, our driveway was area four. So we'll say area four. And like I said before, the permeable pavement, the rebate is based on the size of um, the depaved and then permeable paved area. So if it's 50 meters squared, it's $50 per meter squared, so it'd be a rebate of $2,500. And once you're done all of that, we'll click yes to the terms and conditions. You can read the terms and conditions there as well. Your signature, you can just type your name in there if you have the co-applicant, and then you hit submit, and that's the whole application process. So it can be, looking at it as a whole, can seem like a lot, but if you take it one step at a time, go through, check your eligibility, do the e-learning course, one thing at a time, it's not too bad there. Perfect. So we've done our checklist. We've got all these things. I'll pull that full screen that. We've checked all of these. We've sent these all off. We've done the application form. And that's it. You'll hear back from our contact at the city. If he has any questions or, you know, any things needs to clarify, he'll let you know there. So there's no harm in applying. Just give it your best, and we'll come back to you and work with you on it. We do have some other workshops. I've mentioned the stormwater assessment one, which is on the 29th. We also have some guest presenters who are going to be completing some workshops on rain gardens and permeable pavement. So you can see there August 14th and 27th. So if you're really interested in those specifically, join us, and you can learn a lot about those couple options. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see people, excited and interested in stormwater management and looking for ways they can improve the situation and have more water absorbing into the ground on their property. If you have any issues, it really is like a team effort. You can just reach out to our contact at the city, Connor. He's at rain@ottawa.ca for any application. If you have any issues with the application process or anything like that, he's a great person to reach out to. Or you can reach out directly to us at greencity@envirocentre.ca. We love talking rain gardens and different options. If you have any questions at all, like, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'd love to talk shop with you. Yeah, I saw some questions pop up there mid presentation. If anyone has any questions that you weren't sure, you want me to go over something, we have a good 15 minutes to chat stormwater.
Thank you so much, Stefan. Yeah, if anyone has any other lingering questions, please feel free to put anything in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap up a few minutes early. Okay, feel free, like Stefan said, to reach out either at rain@ottawa.ca or greencity@envirocentre.ca if anything comes to mind. And thank you so much for attending today. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Take care, everybody.